Like,
real champ who doesn't give a fuck about the feds. So good man.
that is true. Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns
Antifa.
is the Antifa leader we need. All right, he was in the Shield.
He is a literal Antifa super soldier.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of a new podcast from the creators of the Indieheads Podcast. I'm Matty, aka at Monroe Prince, and welcome to the first episode of Slam Me Harder, Daddy.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, God.
Hell yeah.
As I mentioned, I'm your co-host, Matty, and on this episode of Slam Me Harder, Daddy, we have two very special guests. Not really guests, my fellow co-hosts, Gavin and Zach.
What's up, Matty? I got an ice-cold Steve Weiser here, and I am ready to talk about the boys grappling and a slamming all night long.
I think we should have chosen a title we can say out loud without breaking into tears laughing, but that's just me.
No, we'll get used to it. We'll eventually just like be numb to it. It's just like, yeah, Slam Me Harder, Daddy. Welcome to Slam Me Harder, Daddy, episode 52. Roman Reigns, he had another coronation ceremony at Backlash. Oh my god! When are they just? Are they gonna turn him heel? Just come on now. But hey, Slam Me Harder, Daddy. First episode, and we are going to do this podcast a while ago. Like I think after Royal Rumble, and nothing really happened. But WrestleMania has happened. The
Right, baby.
The big one, the showcase of the Immortals, the Brands and the Hunks, synergy, the ultimate thrill ride. Give me the green light,
Daddy.
Give me the green light. It's WrestleMania, baby. And
welcome to my house.
Jesus Christ. Okay, WrestleMania. I guess we'll start off. What was everybody's expectations going into WrestleMania this year? Gavin, I'll let you start. Actually, hang on. Before we get into Mania, let's all discuss our backgrounds in wrestling. Like, how do we become fans? Try to keep it quick. Yeah. How do we become fans? How long have we been watching? How long have we been watching consistently? Because I think I can speak for all of us that we've taken breaks every once in a while and then gotten back into it. But I will start. Started watching in late 2006. First match I ever saw was Rey Mysterio and Chavo Guerrero in an I Quit match on SmackDown. Like my friend Blake called me and was like, "Hey, you gotta change the channel to CW, dude. You gotta watch this wrestling stuff." And I'm like, "Okay." Switch was like, I was hooked. Since then, hooked. Started Backyard Wrestling Federation. Was in the whole damn mile for a couple of years before I got out of it, and then got back into it around like 2012. I actually was like there, like I was in the crowd for Raw 1000 and a couple other events, and then got out of it around like 2014, 2015, and just got back into it around November. I think like basically around Survivor Series last year. So that's my journey. Gavin, what is your wrestling journey?
So the match 3 game, right?
The match 3 what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the match 3 game got me back into it. WWE Champions got me back into it. this time around, I got addicted. And I'm like, hey, I should probably start watching wrestling again. Seems like a good idea. But nice. Gavin, your journey.
Yeah. Right. My dad watched it a lot as a kid, but I had no interest because of like I just wanted to watch cartoons. I distinctly remember seeing like Umaga, but like I just didn't care. But I remember seeing him. And then when I was like 16, I got into like kung fu movies. And then I just turned on the TV and wrestling was on, and I was like, "Oh, this is just a kung fu movie that never ends." And so, yeah, there's a new sequel every week, and it's awesome. The first episode I watched, I don't remember exactly, but I remember I was like, "Oh, this is cool." It's just like this cheesy, like I didn't take it seriously. And then the next week was the episode that Edge had his retirement speech. So it was like 2011. Like I was like, it's pretty recently, but I was like, oh, this is like it's funny, but it's also like real, and these people like get fucked up, and that was kind of like my intro. I took a break like last year when Jinder won the title, and then I came back when like Enzo got fired. So like a pretty recent break, but that was like my longest break, I would say.
Zachariah, what is your journey, my son?
Okay, the first real exposure I had to wrestling was SmackDown versus Raw 2009. Like, my neighbor had it for whatever reason. Dante isn't really a wrestling fan, so I'm not sure why he had it, but he let me borrow it. Really taken in by, like, the Road to WrestleMania mode, like, CM Punk's version especially, that was awesome. I think I really started watching until, like, 2011, 2012. It was for a little bit. Then in like 2014, I just got back into it for whatever reason, and I've been pretty consistent watching it ever since.
There we go. All right, that is our background. That's our journey. So now let's get into WrestleMania, baby. What are all of our expectations going into Mania this year? Gavin, what were your expectations going into Mania?
I kind of expected a similar show to last year's, where it was like it was pretty quality, but like not like WrestleMania 30 or 17 quality. I wasn't expecting like a great, card, because like, you look through the card and there's some like pretty cool stuff, like the IC match and AJ and Nakamura. But I expected the cruiserweight match to be the best one like last year, because I think that those are probably the two best workers on this card. No offense to AJ and Shinsuke, but my expectations were mostly matched, aside from some weird decisions, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Zach, expectations going into Mania this year?
Card on paper is pretty stacked. Like, there are a lot of great performers there, but it's WrestleMania. It's way too long. Some bullshit is going to happen every now and again. So I'd have to say I kept my expectations pretty low. And on the whole, I would say they're met, but there were some decisions that are still confusing me days later, even now that we've had some time to think about it, and things that I'm excited to talk about.
We will discuss that. We will discuss some of these decisions, as I'm pretty much in agreement. I'm in the middle. Like I said, had not high expectations, but I was like, okay, this card on paper looks really good. Let's see how they fuck it up. That was sort of my expectations. But let's get into. We're gonna go top to bottom from the card, from the WrestleMania kickoff, the Showcase of the Immortals kickoff, to the very main event. So let's start off with the first match of the night, the 5th annual Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale, aka the Armbar, which is what it's been nicknamed now. Even though of course it's not like it's just easier. It's the Armbar. Yeah.
It's a huge stretch.
It's basically, hey, let's get all these guys their pay-per-view let's get all these guys their pay-per-view paychecks, and then we'll be good. And for this match, it should be way more funner than it ends up being, because for the most part, it's just a slog. Like, there's some fun moments this year, like Goldust eliminating R-Truth and then dabbing was fucking great. I thought that was the greatest shit in the goddamn world. And and this year's Armbar, which, by the way, this is gonna be spoilers. If you're listening to this, you already know, the spoilers. And this Armbar did something that the previous Armbars didn't do, and that it actually advanced a storyline, which is kind of crazy. And that, if you don't know, Matt Hardy won the Armbar this year when Bray Wyatt did his little spooky shit and appeared in the ring and helped eliminate Mojo Rawley and Baron Corbin, the two previous winners of the Armbar. And again, like I said, mostly a very boring affair. There's definitely some guys in here you just go, oh, man, you're in this? Man, that's sad. Like, Kane was in this. Did you guys know that Kane was... I was like, it took me like 2 or 3 minutes to notice. Like, I was like, wait, what the fuck? Why is Kane in this match? And why is he not being hyped to, like, win? Like, you'd think he'd be the guy. It's like, hey, he had the most elims at the Royal Rumble for a long time, and it was just like... I know it's Libertarian Kane at this point. You can't really take him seriously, but it's like, hey, this guy fucking just faced Brock Lesnar for the Universal title, and he's in the goddamn Armbar. Like, that's his next pay-per-view match. It's sad. But overall, again, I'm happy with the ending. Bray and Matt teaming is the best thing for the both of them. And we'll talk about this team, this alliance a bit later on in the show, but very happy with this. Bray Wyatt, Sister Abigail is finally obsolete, and this is going to be fun. I'm very excited to see what happens with Bray and Matt, and how they kind of keep going as a tag team from here on out. as I'm expecting to be very sports entertained by it all.
Yes.
So unless there's any more thoughts on the armbar, we can get to the next match.
Did anyone know?
It's not a great track. It isn't a great track record for winners of the armbar. Like Show, Baron Corbin, Mojo Rawley. None of them are arguably in a better place now than they were when they won it. But it looks like they actually give a shit. Like, Matt's an overact, and giving by a turning face, I guess, to be buddy-buddy with him can only be good for both of them. So hopefully this is a good thing. Yes,
very, very, very excited for the broken duo. Since it seems like Jeff's just going to go do his own thing, which is good. Yeah. Jeff definitely deserves to do his own thing. Which, by the way, hey, Jeff Hardy came back on Raw. That's great. Yeah. And they had a great segment where Matt and Jeff, where Jeff's playing along with the whole broken shit, and like then camera pans to Finn and Seth, just like, what the fuck is going on? and they're like, Jeff, like, what the fuck? And Jeff's like, I don't know, man. And just chews his gum and gets out of the frame. Fucking great. But yes, very sports entertained towards the end, but still, it's a match that's way more boring than it should be, as it should be very fun and should be a way to get guys over. And also, I just want to mention real quick, Carl Anderson. All right, the 2012 G1 Climax finalist, Carl Anderson. Man, he's in a rough spot, man. Now, like, you thought Balor Club would actually be getting a push, and it just seems like that's just not happening. It's sad. It's Carl Anderson. He's so fucking good. He's so entertaining. He's very good. I can't say, like, hey, go back to New Japan, because he probably is getting paid more, WWE, and his schedule is probably not that bad, or it's not as, like, grueling, but still, you know, it's a little sad. But next match on the card, and one that I think most of us were pretty excited about, that did not. We'll discuss. Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali in the WWE Cruiserweight Championship tournament final. So the title got vacated back in January after Enzo Amore did a no-no and got himself fired from the company because he's a dumb idiot. And I don't know how he wasn't fired sooner for some other dumb bullshit. But we will not discuss the dumb bullshit. You can go find out online. It's a lot. Stuff that it's bad. It's stuff that we're not the right people to talk about, but you can go find out. But at the same time, it's like, look at his haircut. You can kind of figure it out from there. But anyways, title got vacated. Rockstar Spud from Impact in the Indies joined WWE and was renamed Drake Maverick and is the new 205 Live general manager. And his first act was, hey, we're going to do a tournament for the Cruiserweight Championship. And behind the scenes, Triple H took over the show, and now we are here at WrestleMania with Cedric and Mustafa making their WrestleMania debuts and fighting for the Cruiserweight Championship. And Gavin, you again, I think you were pretty hyped about this match. I think you said that.
Yeah,
earlier.
I love the Cruiserweights. I love them all, and these are probably my two favorite Cruiserweights. So I was very happy. Well, I mean, Gulak also is up there, but I think these two could and did deliver probably the best, like, in-ring out of all the Cruiserweights, sort of like a Mania sort of hype match.
Yeah.
My only real, like, major complaint was the fucking match, was that they wouldn't stop shouting the words heart and soul at each other.
Oh, God.
Which, like, I get what they were going for, but it stopped being, like, an interesting sort of storytelling device and became like a cringeworthy, like, just wrestle, guys. That's what you're good at.
I know. That was real. Here's the thing. Like, the in-ring storytelling itself was already good enough. Like, towards the end, I was really fucking invested just from the wrestling itself. Like, take the New Japan route on this stuff and just, like, hey, tell the story in the ring. You don't need to be yelling heart, soul. It's corny as shit. All right. Like, as we'll discuss later tonight, WWE, when they do face v face stuff, it can either go really, really well or it could go really, really bad. And this was pretty close to going really, really bad. Just in terms of just like, oh my God, just shut the fuck up, just wrestle. But the match itself was, I thought the match was a lot of fun. Didn't really understand why people weren't that into it. like people on Reddit were just like, oh, this match was kind of disappointing. It's like, I thought it was a good, solid match. Like, some really awesome spots. That near fall with what's Mustafa's finisher? It's like that the inward 450
054. Yeah.
The 054
inverted to 450.
That near fall moment was fucking awesome. Just him putting the foot on the rope was like, that's great. I love it. It's drama. I'm into it. And the 1-bar check is the best finisher in WWE today.
Oh, it's so fucking cool.
It's so good. The bounce that he usually gets on it is insane. If you can find the video, there's one they did on the Indies. He did one to Cancel Ray that's just fucking brutal. It's amazing.
Yeah, she jumps like 5 feet in the air. It's so fucking crazy.
But yeah, I was very sports entertained.
I also want to point out that Mustafa Ali took like 7 huge bumps to his fucking front in this match, and I was like, dude, like, please be careful, you know? Like, he took one to the outside. He missed a 054 on Cedric and just laid it on. Like, I'm sure he's done that a million times, and he's probably cool with it. But he also, the Spanish fly off the top is essentially him just doing a moonsault and landing on nothing. But
the Spanish fly is a weird move. It's a move that does look awesome, but at the same time, it's like, just you don't. It's definitely sort of. I mean, wrestling obviously, it's fake. It's not real. These guys are working together, but you have to hide the choreography a little bit. Make it at least look kind of real. Spanish fly, it's a cool looking move, but it definitely kind of makes you go, "Oh, this shit's fake." Okay, but like I can pretty quickly get drawn back in. But still, it was still pretty cool though. Like again, the avalanche Spanish fly looks fucking brutal. But match, a lot of good moments. Definitely excited to see where the cruiserweights go from here on out.
Did you watch 205 Live?
I did not watch the new episode, but I did see the clip of Buddy Murphy hitting that move again, which I thought was cool because he like struggled to do it, which some people are like, oh, you kind of botched it. It's like, no, that makes it look cooler. That like, hey, he had to he deadlifted him twice basically just to get the move done, and there's like some actual struggle there from Cedric. Like, it's fucking great. But definitely excited for I'm gonna start watching it regularly as I watch the Drew Gulak and Tony Nese match, and that match was really fucking good. Drew Gulak needs to be on the main roster. Like, I just don't he's very similar to Neville, just kind of being wasted on 205 Live. Like, I think he would fit like perfectly on Raw. Like, he just be someone's manager, or like fucking Aiden English is to Rusev right now. Like, he's someone who could get someone easily over, But I digress.
Not to play dream booking here. My dream booking is Chuck Taylor gets signed and Drew Gulak manages him.
That would be great. But
oh my god.
But at the same time, I feel like if Chuck Taylor gets signed at this point, it's like you'd also have to sign Trent. Like, the best friends the best friends are a package deal. Okay. Like,
to quote Trent, he said he'd rather saw his dick in half lives than ever go back to WWE. So I don't know if I can see that. But it would be definitely cool to see their best friends.
Damn it.
Wrestlemania have a strong grip on their best friends. That's a special. So we'll move on to the unless Zach has anything to say about cruiserweights.
Yeah, like. First, I love Cedric and Mustafa entirely. Mustafa is probably my favorite cruiserweight, even though he was a cop.
Okay, make it very clear. Slammy Horror Daddy, we hate cops on the Slammy Horror Daddy podcast. Former cops, it depends. It depends on why. Mustafa did quit to do wrestling, so he's not a cop anymore, so he does some points, but still, it's not a good look. But he makes up for it. But Zach, continue. I'm sorry. I just had to let everyone know that we fucking hate cops here on the Slammy Hard Day podcast. If you're a cop, stop listening to this podcast now.
No cops allowed.
Where was I?
Fuck the big boss man.
Where's Big Boss Man?
Where was I?
You're talking about how Mustafa Ali is a cop, but you still love him.
Some awesome engineer gear, like
that was so cool. Dude, that was awesome. I fucking love that.
It's the thing though. I thought this was going to be match not even given enough time, and 12 minutes. It's a decent amount of time, but The crowd was really into it, which is a shame because it was a pretty good match. Not as great as I was hoping it would be, but just for a long time, he got played by bullshit a bunch of times, but now he's where he should be. And hopefully this program with Buddy Murphy, which they seem to be setting up, will continue to give 5 the exposure it deserves.
Yes, definitely. I'm definitely gonna start watching it more regularly now that I actually can fucking watch it on the network and not have to like rely on my shitty DVR. So, hey, shouts out to the cruiserweights. All right, again, and then the final kickoff match of the night, the first ever. It's not the first ever, okay, but at the same time, I don't blame WWE for wanting to forget about the 25th anniversary one, Santina Marella. WWE, you can't forget all your demons, WWE. You can't forget them all. But the first ever WrestleMania Women's Battle Royale, and it was a match. It was a match.
Yeah.
That's again. I mean, hopefully, again, it'd be not. Again, it kind of advanced the Sasha. Okay, can someone please explain the fucking Sasha Banks Bailey storyline? It's so fucking weird. It's like. They don't want to turn Sasha for some reason. They keep doing things that should make, in any other situation, Sasha's a heel now. She does this one bad thing. She's a fucking heel. But they don't want to pull... But it seems like the next week it's like, she's a face again. It's like... Or they're... Like, her and Bailey, they're on the fritz. It's like... Have you guys not watched, like, Raw or any of these pay-per-views for, like, the last 6 or 7 weeks? It's like... They're not friends anymore. Bailey attacked her in the locker room. Sasha kicked her off the pod at the Elimination Chamber. The fuck is happening? It's so confusing that again, it's like just have them have a fucking match, okay? Like just get an actual program and stop this dilly dally bullshit on deciding to turn Sasha heel. Turn her fucking heel. She was a fucking great heel in NXT. She should be a fucking heel on the main roster. I don't know what the fuck WWE's doing. It's stupid. God. But this match was just, again, it was a match. It was kind of confusing. Naomi, she won the match, but, like, she apparently didn't get eliminated, but I wasn't even paying attention. And I'm like, oh, wait, she's still in the match? Okay, cool, I guess. So, yeah, I thought it was very, very boring and very dumb and very useless.
I kind of wish that I know Naomi won, and they're doing the entrances really weird because they aired the second half of the pre-show on USA Network. So Becky got an entrance, and then a whole bunch of women came in the ring, and then Bailey got an entrance, and Sasha. And it was I don't know. Naomi should have gotten an entrance because I think that visually it was cool at WrestleMania.
And she won the damn match. She won the fucking match too.
And she won the damn thing. Just a quick shout out to Kyrie and Peyton Royce and Kai for being cool. I guess Kavita, Devi, and Tainara Conti were there, but they didn't do anything as cool as the other three. So shouts out to NXT.
Mm. Oh yeah, that was a cool moment though. I think that was probably the only cool moment when the NXT when we're like, they got an NXT chant going. I thought that was cute.
And Bianca Belair did a 450, which was awesome.
Oh yeah, that was fucking great. And Kairi Sane,
her hair, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And Kairi Sane is such a cutie pie. I love Kairi so much. I need to watch the Mae Young Classic.
Great elbow.
Again, fucking great elbow. She's again got that very natural charisma that is very hard to find nowadays that I really, really enjoy. So, again, wish it was better, but hopefully there's actually like a reason for it next year, or they actually like advances the storyline. The closest they got was like the whole Bailey Sasha stuff, but even then it's like you're advancing a storyline that's already like kind of on its fritz. So, what are you gonna fucking do? But
yeah.
That is the kickoff of WrestleMania. We are now getting
one other thing that I would like to mention. I don't remember all the NXT girls saying this, but I did like Becky telling one of them, "Orange is my color."
That was Kavita. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was great. That That was like really dumb bullshit, but it was great.
Yeah. Is the trophy supposed to look like a uterus on purpose? It seems like something dudes would do as a rib. Like it's definitely not cool or good. They probably had like a fabulous Mulan like little statue ready to put on top of it. And they're like, oh fuck it, here says no, let's put a fucking uterus on it. Like I wouldn't be shocked.
It's definitely got to be a Vince rib. It's got to be a Vince rib. There's no doubt about it. But
yeah.
Now onto the main card, opening match of the night, Intercontinental Championship triple threat match. Oh, wait, did you have any more thoughts on the kickoff, Zach, that you didn't get through? Are we ready to get into the main the showcase of the Immortals, baby?
Do we want to talk about John Cena sitting in the audience?
Oh yeah, shit, we forgot to mention that. Oh yeah, so basically, John, the backstory for John Cena, which we'll get to. I mean, we can talk about it now very briefly, but I want to get more in depth once we get to the actual match. But yeah, John Cena's in the goddamn crowd. He's watching a spectator. The camera gets on him occasionally. He's goofy, but you know, I love Cena. I mean, at this point, I love John Cena, man. I just fucking love him.
Yeah,
he's such a good, wholesome figure, man. I can't hate Johnny Boy. He's too good. And he actually reacted to the cruiserweight match. Apparently, he was pretty. He got off his chair when for the Avalanche Spanish Fly. So, hey, next time you see a Cena match, that happens, Cedric and Mustafa, you know who to go after.
Mm-hmm. He'll steal your shit.
You guys can take Cena.
Can't even picture that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy! All right, main card time. Intercontinental Championship triple threat match: Miz versus Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins. Miz coming in as champion. And I was fairly excited for this match. Again, like I said, all these guys are really fucking good. They all know how to bring it. Well, here's the thing. Seth for sure. Miz for sure. Finn, first WrestleMania. We'll see how he does. But he's done, again, he's wrestled, in the Tokyo Dome a couple times. So I think he knows how to play to a big crowd. And this match was a lot of fun. It was pretty much nonstop action from beginning to end. Played the crowd really well. A lot of really great spots. And, this is just some good old wrestling. And also my boy Seth. My boy Seth Rollins is the Grand Slam champion. Fucking happy about it. My boy Seth, he out here so hard. But, your guys' thoughts on this match. What'd y'all think?
First of all, love Finn Balor's entrance. It was so good. It made me a little emotional boy because I was like, even though I know it's definitely just pandering, I do think that Finn Balor is a good enough person who actually does believe in the sort of acceptance his character is preaching right now. So, good for him. Good for that. That was cool. I do aside from just generally saying that the match was good, which it was, I do want to give a proper shout out to the spot where Miz had Finn in a figure four and the camera, usually the camera work in WWE sucks and it's just all shaky and zoomy. But they're sort of cutting back and forth between, Miz, aggressively putting it on and then Finn, reacting to it. And then out of fucking nowhere, this third shot comes in and Seth does a goddamn frog splash off the top rope onto Miz. And it was just so cool and unexpected because the camera work. And it was really great. This match was a lot of fun. Congrats to Seth on winning, every title in the company now except for the Universal.
One day he's gonna get it. Yeah. I think this year it's gonna happen this year. I think that's my bet. Yeah. But also, can we mention with the Miz's entrance? So this year with WrestleMania, they had this AR holographic stuff with people's entrances this year, and Miz's had a bunch of the Blurred Lines video. There's just random words spread out throughout. So you have Hollywood and stuff like this, and then you have Hot Wife as one of the little things on Mrs. Entrance. Was dying laughing. It was fucking great.
They got a pop.
And then goddamn White Walker Seth Rollins, dude. Fucking
goddamn amazing. Best entrance of the night by far.
Hard disagree. I hated it.
It was in character. I thought it was. I don't watch Game of Thrones, but I thought it was cool.
That's kind of corny. The fucking colored contacts. Those must have been Romans at some point, right?
What was the movie thinking with that? By the way, can we? Okay, oh my god, Darby is such a weird fucking company. Like,
we'll get to Roman eventually.
we'll talk about Roman in the whole main event, but I thought it was a very fun match. Great way to start the show. Good way to pop the crowd.
Yeah.
And Grand Slams Rollins. Let's get it, baby. Definitely excited about that. But
yeah,
on to
I
the next
loved
one.
it. Like, everybody did their role really well, and on the topic of what Gavin was saying about Finn's entrance, between this and Sonya Deville being an out lesbian, being a prominent member of the roster, I think is actually leaning towards doing something nice for LGBT people for once, which is good. Lily here, even though she will absolutely never listen to this, given that wrestling is the queerest form of cishet entertainment, this crossover is both inevitable and heartwarming.
I'm very happy, and Finn is. Let's discuss really quick before we get to this next match. Finn is definitely the horniest guy on the roster right now, right?
Oh, he is a thought. Let's not beat around the bush there.
Finn is.
He loves posting.
He's so horny.
Loves posting his little package on Instagram.
And again, he's so horny. He's so goddamn horny.
Oh, he's horny on main, horny on all his alts. He's just horny on private, horny on main. He's horny. He's the horniest guy in the company. He's more horny than Billy Gunn, more than Val Venus. Just like it's subtle horniness, but it's amplified to 1,000,000. So shouts out to Finn Balor and his libido.
Shouts out, and shouts out to Kari Caruso real quick for maintaining that thought of a man right there. But next match, Jesus Christ, Charlotte Flair versus Asuka for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Asuka won the first ever Women's Royal Rumble, and at Fastlane a month later challenged Charlotte to a match at WrestleMania, which on paper was very excited about. Again, both these women are some of the best wrestlers in the roster. They're going to put together a great match. And what do you know? They put together a great match, but a polarizing ending, which we'll get to. But I have my my storytelling reason for it. But I'll let you guys discuss this match first and foremost. Gavin, or actually Zach, what were your thoughts on this match?
Go ahead, Zach.
Zach.
To say, would it be a stretch to say it's the best women's match in the history of WrestleMania? Like, I know there was the triple threat a few years ago that was really great, but
in
WrestleMania, two of the best.
Yeah,
that's not. It's not a hot take. I would say
it's not a high bar to clear.
I don't know. I think it's right. I would agree with it actually.
Yes,
these are two of the best workers in the company, male or female, and they put together a terrific match. I don't know how I feel about the ending, but like you said, we'll get to that. These two went all out. It was definitely one of the best matches of the night, and Asuka, they put on a clinic.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight up. And again, I thought the story going in this match was very good. Again, Asuka, she's on this undefeated streak. Charlotte, who is pretty much, she's basically the top woman in the company. Just no ifs or buts about it. She is in terms of popularity and being just like the top. She's the top person for the women's division right now. But that might change as we'll discuss towards the end of the episode with the rumor mill. But again, this match, fucking great. A lot of good back and forth offense. Of course, you have Charlotte, who is, her thing is power. Hey, I have the power and strength. And Asuka sort of has more technicality. Hey, lots of strikes, lots of submissions. And, again, a lot of brutal submissions. Some really stiff kicks and whatnot throughout the match. Like, there's the one where I think Asuka's, like, holding, like, Charlotte's arm and it's just, like, kicking her right in the head. Mm-hmm. Like, fucking great. And the ending... Oh boy, Gavin. Actually, let's get your thoughts, and we can kind of transition into the ending. Because I did not mind the ending. Once I got to think about it, I was like, oh, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with what happened.
Yeah. First, I want to just say I think that this might have been my favorite match of the night. I don't know if it was the best match of the night, but when I've watched WrestleMania like 2.5 times now. For reasons unknown, but I'll watch it the day after, and then I'll like watch it with some commentary or something. But Yeah, in my rewatches, I've appreciated this one the most, and I do think it gets better once you know the ending, which is not typical of a wrestling match, I would say. But this one, I think, you kind of, once you know the ending, you can kind of appreciate the in-ring storytelling more, because these women do actually like beat the shit out of each other. Like Matty was saying, there's some pretty brutal kicks and hits and stuff. This is the second match of the night where there's a Spanish fly off the top rope, and Charlotte almost landed right on her dome, and it was horrifying.
That was horrifying.
Yeah,
oh.
Yeah, the Mustafa one.
Like, Charlotte was, like, I don't know if it was from that, but she definitely got cut open at some point.
Yeah, her elbow was like fucked up or something, right?
Probably the Spanish fly. Probably the Spanish fly.
Probably the Spanish fly, because it looked pretty fucking nasty. Like, the Mustafa and Cedric one was kind of shaky in the setup, but this one was shakier in the execution. But Charlotte always busts out some crazy shit, like during WrestleMania. Like, she does, like, first she did like a moonsault to the outside, then she did like a corkscrew moonsault to the outside at the next WrestleMania, and this time she did a goddamn Spanish fly off the top rope. I guess.
And her entrance too. Her entrance was fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah. Do we want to talk about who the guys were? Because we found out.
Oh yeah. Key douchebag Tino Sabatelli was one of the Roman soldiers. Which, again, Tino, I would recommend watching Breaking Ground on the network. I think it's a really fun a nice little kind of docu series. And Tino is definitely just, again, he's got such a punchable face. He's such a fucking douche. He just fucking. But yeah, it was Tino. Who were the other two or three?
Riddick Moss, who's Tino's tag team partner in NXT, or former, I guess now. I don't know if they broke up. They were in the Dusty Classic, but they also like had a breakup segment. I don't know. And then I don't know if you remember Dan Matha. He had like vignettes, and then he had his debut segment. Samoa Joe came out and fucked him up. I don't know if anyone else remembers that, but those were the three guys, and it was a parody.
Giant Brian Kendrick, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was like a parody of Triple H's WrestleMania 30, I think, entrance.
Yep, where Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and Alexa Bliss were the three skull-faced queens extras.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it was really cool. So like, we should probably talk about this ending where Asuka tapped out
to the figure eight leg lock.
Mm-hmm.
Which
my only complaint about it really is that Charlotte didn't work Asuka's leg much during the match. But like, I don't know, my girlfriend was furious that Asuka's streak is over because she's like the biggest Asuka fan in the world. And I was kind of mad about it at first, but then I was like, this is going to make Asuka a more interesting character, and given the rumors about what's going to happen with Charlotte, like I guess I can't complain. So that's my take on it.
I've been watching a lot of Showbuckle and Real Neat Puro as of late, and my storyline reason is that the thing with Asuka, I'm gonna get into I'm gonna kayfabe it real quick for y'all folks. So Asuka, she's been on this undefeated streak for well near 2 years now, but this is the first big one for Asuka, all right? You know, she's obviously dominated the NXT world, but NXT is the minor leagues, all right? It's the minor leagues, all right? It's impressive considering how many talented people are in NXT, but it's not the big times. And then she gets on the main roster, again, beats a lot of people, but still, you know, it's not WrestleMania, and WrestleMania is the big one, all right? It's the big one, and Asuka, you know, kind of succumbed to the pressure and wasn't able to make it. And because, again, the pressure of the big one, Charlotte has been through this grind before. She's had, you know, at this point, you know, 3 or 4 WrestleMania matches. All right. She knows full well what the big one is and how to survive it. I mean, her dad was fucking Ric Flair. All right. She's bred to be in this business. She's bred to be able to handle this pressure. And Asuka, not so much. And it's very similar to Okada in Tanahashi's story at Wrestle Kingdom, where at Wrestle Kingdom, Okada was not able to beat Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom for a while. They had 2 or 3 Wrestle Kingdom matches, and it took the last one. I think was it Wrestle Kingdom 10 that Okada beat Tanahashi.
I believe so. Yeah.
So
Hold
again,
on.
it's I think that's it. But
Might have been
basically, it's
9.
just sort of like, hey, she came in very cocky to Raw. I mean, of course, she deserved to be. Again, completely dominated the NXT, the NXT women's roster. But again, this is the big one. She didn't quite make it. Definitely excited to see, or definitely interested to see where things go from here with Asuka and her character. As at this point, she's basically dominated the Raw roster. Again, she beat Nia, beat Alexa, beat Sasha, beat Bayley. I think she'll probably get drafted to SmackDown in the shakeup next week. So definitely excited to see where she goes from here. The sort of it's a redemption angle I'm definitely excited to see. So yeah, and of course at the ending, Asuka grabbed the mic, hugged Charlotte, and was a nice little moment. But Zach, you're not a fan, if I remember correctly, of the ending.
The time, I was really upset. I thought they had to go all in on her. There's no way that not only did she win the first Women's Royal Rumble, she was the sole survivor for her team at Survivor Series. I thought they had to be going all in on her. Which I was mad at the time, but the streak was only going to weigh her down. Streaks are kind of bullshit as storylines, whether it's a winning streak or a losing streak with what happened with MVP back in the day. There's only going to be a more interesting character for this. On Tuesday makes me wonder why do it. Why didn't they give her the win? I know they want to get the belt on Carmella, I guess that they thought breaking the streak then would be preferable to her losing it through a cash-in, so I guess I just answered my own question.
Yeah.
I think if there's any time to lose the streak, I think WrestleMania is a good one. I think it's a storyline-wise, again, it's the big one. It's come to the pressure, yada, yada, yada. But I do think that, again, I do wish, Charlotte worked the leg a bit more during the match. It would have incredibly built up. I do wish there was a bit more struggle with the figure eight leg lock, I do wish Asuka actually was trying to get out of it, trying to move to the ropes, and then Charlotte's moving her back and getting her back into position. I do wish there was more drama there. I wish it was drawn out a bit more.
Do you wish
but let's get into nitpicks,
Charlotte?
though.
Yeah, Charlotte did the Bray Wyatt crab walk while doing the figure eight.
That would be amazing.
That was,
she's gonna do that at some point. Has she done that? If she hasn't done that, she's got to.
I can't recall if she has, but that'd be amazing. One thing I'd like to say, because I just remember this. Does anyone remember when Charlotte had a pay-per-view streak and it ended last year, the pay-per-view before WrestleMania?
Hard.
Yeah, that was dumb. So I guess it gives me more of an insight as to why ending her Asuka streak at WrestleMania was a better idea. So yeah, I can't complain about it. It was a great match.
Yeah, I think again solid match. Probably one of the best matches of the night. And but sadly, of course, again they might have there might have been a little bit of a premature ejaculation on WrestleMania's part this year. But we'll get to that.
We can.
Sorry again. Like I said, we're
right.
What?
Nobody cares about this match. We can yada 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 through this one, can't we?
Was this the U.S. title match?
Yes.
Oh wait! We forgot. So at the end of the Charlotte and Asuka match, John Cena, who has been in the crowd all night, a referee runs down the ramp. Charles Robinson, WrestleMania 24 style, runs down the ramp and goes to John Cena. Is basically saying "Hey, he's backstage, dude. He's here. And by he." It's Undertaker. Undertaker's backstage. He's here. The match. The dream match. It might happen. And John's no, you're bullshitting me. And Ruff's nope, he's back there, dude. Come on, man. And so John Cena, with the meme of the night, hops the barricade, runs backstage up the ramp. Fucking great, hilarious, and I think good timing too. Some people might say that he kind of took up the women's spotlight. It's they were done at that point. The story had been told. Yeah. It was it wasn't he again, the ref came in the middle of Asuka and Charlotte hugging. It was they had their moment. It was done. It was fine. But that led into the U.S. Championship Fatal 4-Way match between Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, Jinder Mahal, and Rusev. With Randy Orton coming in as champion, as he beat Bobby Roode last month at Fastlane to become a Grand Slam champion. And I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. I did not watch this match. I heard it was bad. Didn't really give a shit about the story. I saw Rusev's entrance, and that was it. That's all I needed to see when it came to this match. But I'll let you guys who actually watched it discuss this.
Involved, the entrances were really underwhelming. Like, I was expecting some crazy shit for Bobby and Jinder, and they just ring gear, I guess.
I mean, I'll say for shit. Well, here's the thing with Rusev. He came out of a tank at WrestleMania in 2015. You can never top that. He came out of a fucking tank. All right, how can you not love this guy? All right, he's fucking amazing. But yeah, entrances from what I saw were kind of underwhelming. But you know, it's no one gave a shit about this match. It was a piss break match. Again,
yeah.
The only reason to be compelled by this match was Rusev being entered, but you know, if I remember correctly, he ate the pin, so it was
he did.
Oh great, here's this guy that's very organically over with the crowd, and let's just bury him. You know, like let's just try to do it, Daniel Bryan style. Fuck it. It's like stop it, Darby, stop it, fucking assholes. But I'll shut up for now.
I just want to say shout out to Samir Singh for being injured, meaning he did not have to be affiliated with this match. He is the real winner. And that's really all I have to say about it. Aside from Aiden English getting a haircut in the hour between the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal and Rusev's entrance, which is hilarious.
Oh yeah, shit is goddamn. Let's discuss Aiden English really quickly. Aiden English is this guy again. He is a very interesting life at the moment. Again, he's one half of the most over duo in the company right now. Again, helping Rusev Day get over. Additionally, he's married to Eddie Guerrero's daughter, so he is a Guerrero by law, which is fucking great.
Guerrero.
There you go. Los Guerrero, man, fucking incredible. And then also, he's fucking ripped. He's really pale, but he's goddamn ripped. Like that dude, he's got a Finn level 6-pack he's got going right there. And also, Aiden English
really weirdly attractive.
And his gimmick, which I've described as someone who saw Hamilton once and it blew his fucking mind and just changed everything. Like that's his gimmick, and it's amazing. Which you're telling the story about again your WrestleMania party with the theater kids. If you want to retell that on the podcast.
To my first ever WrestleMania watch party by my friend Dan. And he and I and one other dude were the only people who really watched wrestling there. The theme is that we were all theater people, so no fewer than 2 people said after Aiden did his thing at the start of Rusev's entrance, 2 people said that's Lin-Manuel Miranda. That's his gimmick. It was one of the best things that happened that night. They had some other comments about other matches, which I'll get to when we get there, but I'm kind of invested, which was really fun.
Shocker that Aiden and Rusev were the ones that get people invested because they're have a great gimmick, you know?
Hated Rusev. I think they were rooting for Bobby.
Bobby's in a weird position. Almost all these guys are not who they, in terms of their face heel alignment, they're not where they should be. Orton should not be a face or tweener or where the fuck he is. He's a natural heel. That's where he plays best. Just make him fucking heel. I understand he's been with the company for a while and it's kind of hard. Again, after a while, the fans just become they become endearing towards you, and so you kind of have to, it's what happened to AJ. It's what happened to a couple guys. You eventually go face because the crowd loves you too much. But Orton should be heel. Rouge should definitely be a fucking heel. But he's only a face because he has good theme music, just straight up.
Yep.
And Jinder's perfect. He's again he's actually the most perfectly aligned when it comes to the heel face stuff. He's very much like, he's a heel. He plays it very well. Crowd doesn't like him. Maybe not for the reasons that he wants them to, but still I think it works, And then Rusev, obviously, again, they're trying to push him as a heel, but again, he's a face. He's selling tons of merchandise. It's like WWE, give it the program, make him face. But yeah, there's, again, when it comes to the nitty gritty of this match, I mean, I know you guys both watch it. Is there really anything to discuss when it comes to the nitty gritty of the match?
There's literally nothing.
Fucking nothing. Okay. WWE, push Rusev, you fucking bastards, and don't literally bury him in Saudi Arabia. Like, god damn it.
They're gonna bury him.
Oh, by the way, yeah, if you guys do not know, they just announced a new match for the greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. So along with a 50-man Royal Rumble, Triple H versus John Cena, Samoa Joe versus Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor versus The Miz in an IC title ladder match. And there's probably another one I'm forgetting about. Rusev will face off against The Undertaker in a casket match. They're going to literally bury him. It's, again, how much fucking money is Saudi Arabia paying the WWE for this? Because this is actually like a pretty good card so far, honestly.
It's fucking crazy. It's
a crazy ass card. Saudi Arabia. Okay, this is not a pro Saudi Arabia podcast. Saudi Arabia has committed a multitude of atrocities, but at the same time, it's like, this is a good card. Although it definitely sucks that the women are not on the goddamn card. Get your shit fixed, assholes. But
they should do a women's show in the United States.
They really should.
Just saying.
Really should. But I think, again, but Vince is dumb and bad, and again, he will make a lot of money doing this, and will not make a lot of money doing the women's only thing. So money talks, and it's not kind. It's not kind at all. But next match of the night, and one of the most hype matches of the entire card, that I think probably kind of surprised everybody with how goddamn good it turned out. Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey.
That it was a good match.
Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. A little background: Ronda Rousey, who had been rumored to be joining WWE for a couple of months now, and up until Royal Rumble, it seemed like, it's not actually going to happen because she was shooting a movie in Colombia. So, okay, she's probably not going to show up at the Rumble. We'll be okay. But nope. After the match, after Asuka wins, you have Charlotte and Alexa Bliss and Asuka in the middle of the ring. You hear Bad Reputation by Joan Jett comes in, and Ronda Rousey comes out, tries to shake everyone's hand, points to the WrestleMania sign, walks out, end of pay-per-view. Great. But again, there actually was a story with Ronda Rousey building up, of course, with her contract signing. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon have been trying to court Ronda Rousey to the WWE for a couple of years now, and Kurt Angle, being the goddamn doofus that he is, the lovable doofus, but a fucking doofus nonetheless, starts blabbering his mouth a little bit, saying like, hey, Triple H and Stephanie, they're using you, Ronda. Like, they don't give a shit about you. Like, come on now. And so that has built into this feud. Basically, Kurt Angle's like, hey, Ronda, Triple H and Stephanie, they're bad folks. Me, I'm a good folk, and I don't like these folks, so we should team up at WrestleMania to fight them. And is there any bits that I missed? I think I got everything. Ronda Rousey sent Triple H through a table, and that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it, though, in terms of storyline. So, Gavin, what were your thoughts on this match?
I should point out that I was at Raw in Dallas where they were doing the Ultimate Deletion, which was not shown to the audience there live.
Blah, blah.
Yeah, we retreated instead to a Ronda Rousey segment where she suplexed the shit out of Dana Brooke. And she did that. I thought she botched like a exploder suplex, it looked like, but it turns out it's like an inverted exploder that she does, where she just throws you and you land on your fucking face and it looks terrifying. And she did that to Steph in this match. I don't know if I guess it's safe because Steph took it, but it looks like the worst thing ever. But yeah, this match surprised me with how fucking good it was. Because, like, you know, Steph is not, like, a good worker, like, at all. And Kurt is kind of limited in what he can do nowadays with all his injuries. And Ronda's, like, you know, new.
Green as motherfucking grass.
Yeah. But even with all those, like, factors that could have made this, like, people were saying this was going to be the bathroom break match, but there's a legitimate argument that this was the best match on the card. But it was, I mean, aside from, like, some stuff that was, like, you know, like, I mean, it's wrestling, so, like, you're going to have to suspend disbelief, but, like, Stephanie countering a Ronda armbar is, like, extremely not within my ability to suspend disbelief for.
Yeah, this was the match. My background for this match, I missed like the first hour and a half of Mania, and this is the first match that I tuned into once I got home from work. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, that's like one of the first things I saw was her countering the armbar. I'm like, okay, Darby, I get it. It's like, Stephanie, she owns the company basically, but like, come on now. Like you could fight a better way. You could fight a better move for Steph to try to counter than a fucking armbar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, but it was great. Aside from, you know, like Stephanie countering some of Ronda's offense, I loved when Triple H like threw Ronda out of the ring. I was like, holy shit, what the fuck? Like, cause you know, WWE's position on intergender wrestling for a significant amount of time has been it is a complete no-no. But Ronda's a badass and can definitely take some Triple H shit. And the last thing I want to say about this match is shouts out to Drake for, I guess, getting a main roster call-up because he refereed this match. He deserves it.
Hey!
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Not the rapper Drake, by the way, guys. Drake Younger.
Oh, no, the rapper Drake. Yeah, he works for WWE.
Imagine.
That would be great. But, yeah, Drake Wirtz or Drake Younger, who used to be a deathmatch wrestler before coming to WWE. I think if I remember this correctly, he did a tryout. WWE was like, hey, dude, like, your face, what the fuck's wrong with you? What's wrong with your face, dude? Be a referee instead, because your body's like way too banged up to be a performer. And it's worked out pretty well, as he played a pretty big role in the Gargano Ciampa match at this most recent takeover, which we'll probably discuss briefly at the end.
Yeah.
But
speaking of, real quick, I don't know if you noticed on Triple H's entrance jacket, he had a Motorhead patch and he had an NXT patch, which was really sweet. I thought
he loves his kids.
Yeah.
Again, that's the thing with Triple H is that again he's such a good heel, but at the same time, it's like basically NXT Triple H and WWE Triple H are like they're two different people. You know, it's like one Triple H on the main roster is like Bob in Twin Peaks. All right, Bob has again invaded Triple H's body and makes him do very terrible things. But when he goes down to Florida, when he goes down to Full Sail in the WWE Performance Center, Bob takes a breather. He goes back to the Black Lodge, and little Paul Levesque, he's there. He's happy. He's a good boy. Yeah, but yeah, Triple H loves his NXT kids. It's cute. It makes me almost forgive many years of reprehensible booking in the early 2000s in favor of Triple H. Sorry, Booker. Sorry, Randy.
Sorry, Goldberg.
Brian Kendrick and Paul London.
Sorry, Scott Steiner. Well, Steiner was kind of his fault a little bit, but it was both. But anyways, hey, this match, yeah, it was a lot of fucking fun. It worked around everyone's limitations perfectly. The match got really interesting, as you said, when Triple H pulled Ronda out of the ring. Not even just like a pull and like had her stand up and like he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like fucking pulled her again. She landed face fucking first on the outside, like pretty like a fairly gnarly bump, you know?
Yeah.
For the usual pull out the ring.
Tried to hit her with a fucking pedigree.
Oh yeah, that too. And then fucking Ronda. Oh my god, my favorite moment of the match was like Ronda getting Triple H trapped in the corner. And she's just fucking striking him, and he's just like, stop hitting me, stop hitting me. It's fucking great.
Oh, stop!
It's fucking amazing. And then,
Yes.
but Angle. Luckily, Angle was probably the least person used in this match. Like he was not that much of a factor. Only really in the beginning. It was mainly Ronda carrying the team, which I thought was, again, and to see how well she did it, I think Ronda has a very good understanding of the business, and I think she's going to do great. Yeah. Like, if this match is her first offering, it's like, hey, I'm definitely excited to see her more integrated with the main roster, as I think she does get things really quickly, and definitely excited to see where she goes from here. But this match, again, a lot of fucking fun. Seeing Stephanie McMahon and Triple H get beat up, especially Stephanie, is a pleasure. It's such a pleasure, and like I said, this was again possibly match of the night. It was just a really fun match. It was something that again very much appealed to it did a very good job at appealing to the hardcore fans and also sort of the casual fans who are just kind of like, oh, WrestleMania is WrestleMania. I guess why not? I guess I'll check this out. So. Definitely a good match that just again has that sort of that sort of mainstream quality to it that's going to draw people in, and hopefully it drew some people in, as I think this is fucking good. I'm shocked that it was as good as it was, as the story behind it was kind of annoying. Like I was getting kind of annoyed in the weeks ahead, like, oh my god, like I get it, like just get the fucking match over with, but had a very good time. And it was also great the next night on Raw, Ronda Rousey breaking Stephanie's arm again, and then JoJo being like, hey, show some respect to Stephanie McMahon. The crowd just fucking boos the shit out of her even more. Fucking great. Zach, what are your thoughts on this match?
Oh, boy. First and foremost, to the surprise of nobody, this was the longest match on the card. As is tradition with Triple H, it goes on longer than it needs to.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, man, what is wrong with him? This man,
beat Nakamura Styles by 20 seconds.
Okay. Oh, all right. That's not that. Okay. Now that's a little shocking to me, a little bit, considering like how kind of quickly that the Nakamura and AJ Styles match went by, seemingly. But we'll get to that. Mm-hmm. But continues.
It was a really, really good match. Deserves consideration as match of the night, and I am so upset that it was so good. Like, I do not want Ronda Rousey to succeed in any way, shape, or form. She is, I don't want to say a detestable human being, but she is definitely not a good one.
I mean, here's the thing with wrestling, with pro wrestling, and just
she was great. I hate it, but she was great.
I know. Again, most people in wrestling are like really reprehensible people, but when you go into wrestling, you just have lowered expectations of people. Like I think Wrestlemania had a good bit about this. Like, hey, if you can concede that Trump is kind of racist, like, okay, you're good in my books. You know, like you're good in my books. But Ronda, of course, is just a bad person, but. Yeah. It was fun. It was fun watching Triple H get beat up like a child. That was great.
Yes.
I can attest to what you said about it, like, join in casuals, because, again, I was at a party mostly filled with them, and they were fucking bonkers for Ronda. Like, every time, like, when she tagged in, and, one of the people there made that I thought was hilarious. Like, somebody told her that Triple H's wife was named Stephanie, and she was like, oh, of course.
Oh my god.
And she kept doing this, like, Valley Girl impression of, like, probably Steph's inner monologue during the match, and it was goddamn hilarious. I can't do it justice, but it was the best part of the match for me, but everyone in this match did their job as well as they could. It was a great popcorn match, did its job, and I'm just so upset that it was good. And I am so upset about some news that I think that we're going to discuss later about the plans for next year's WrestleMania, but that's a long way away.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. Again, hopefully this does mean more intergender competition. Again, now they have Candice LeRae signed. I do hope that actually does lead a bit more intergender wrestling, as I do think, like, hey, with how many talented women they have on the roster right now, it's like there's some of these women that can go with some of the men and like stand up to them like just fine, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're almost there. They're almost there. I think in a couple of years it could actually happen. It's baby steps. It's baby steps. But next match.
Murderer Cruiserweight. God damn it.
Yes, please. I want to see it. But next match of the night. I think was it the SmackDown Tag Team Championship?
Yes, it was.
SmackDown Tag Team Championship triple threat match. Usos coming in as champion versus the New Day versus the Bludgeon Brothers, which is the new gimmick of Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, formerly of the Wyatt family. And this was a death slot match. It was, again, coming after, again, a match that, again, drew the normies, drew the hardcore fans. Again, everyone was super fucking invested in that match. This match was just not going to, unless they did some crazy shit, it was just not going to do well. The match was basically, it was just designed to get the Bludgeon Brothers over. Like, hey, Bludgeon Brothers, they're going to dominate the tag division. Oh no, they're going to squash these guys. And oh no, they squashed these guys. And, yep, it was a match. There's not much to say because it wasn't a death slot and they didn't really do anything to kind of go above and beyond that. It's a total piss break match. But definitely a waste of some of these guys too, because again, Usos are fucking great. New Day's fucking great. I think Eric Rowan and Luke Harper are fucking great, despite this gimmick being like kind of dumb. I do think they're doing the most with it.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it's a death slot match. But cool to see Bludgeon Brothers get the titles. I think that's an interesting move.
I guess
I'm still a little salty that Gable and Benjamin didn't win back in January. Like, still really salty about that, as Chad Gable is my boy. He's one of my top boys in the company right now. He's so fucking good.
Benjamin is literally the only good thing that has ever come out of South Carolina.
Exactly. Boom. Again, I love Shelton. I've always been a Shelton mark since I was a kid. So again, it's past and present, colliding together. And I thought the Royal Rumble match, I do wish was better. Like, I do think, again, like, the fact that it went straight to 2 falls with the Usos was fucking stupid. But we're talking about WrestleMania. So,
yeah.
Bludgeon Brothers, again, this was, again, a very forgettable, boring match for me. But what did you guys think?
I have pretty much nothing to say about this match, aside from I'm definitely still not sold on the Bludgeon Brothers, because it just feels like a baby step up from the Wyatt family, but I think the Wyatt family was like a more cohesive gimmick, whereas I still don't know what the fuck the Bludgeon Brothers are even supposed to be. The Usos deserve better, like a better slot on the card. The New Day, they all probably deserve a better slot on the card. Harper is better than like Rowan significantly, and the New Day's entrance was great, and that's pretty much everything there is to say about this match.
Oh God!
Pretty much talk.
How did we not mention the New Day's entrance? They came out with with midgets in pancake costumes, and 2 of the midgets did the worm. Actually, it might have been 3 or 4 did the worm.
Short stacks. I didn't realize it until the day after, but they're short stacks.
Mm-hmm.
It was fucking amazing. The New Day are great. Here's the good Bludgeon Brothers. Here's their gimmick, Gavin. I'm going to try my best to explain it to you.
Okay.
They're LARPers. That's their gimmick.
Oh, okay.
They're LARPers.
Okay.
Again, they're LARPers, but they're like really intimidating LARPers. They're guys who probably take it like way too seriously. It's like if you went to a LARP and you see those guys, you go, oh, let's try to avoid those guys if we can. They kind of get like really too into this stuff, Mm-hmm. And one of them, and the guy, he slaps him occasionally just to piss him off, and that's kind of weird. It's like some weird like 50 Grades of Shade shit. Like, I'm not sure if I'm into that. It's really kinky. I think Finn would be really into it, but where am I going with this? I'm gonna cut. Let's cut that. I'm gonna cut that Finn bit. Editor, producer,
Horny on main.
Unnamed producer. Cut that. We're gonna cut that bit. Next match. We all good to go to the
All
next
parties
match?
involved deserve better than a 6-minute squash is all I'm going to say. Hopefully Usos and the Bludgeons tear the house down at the... I think the match is at Greatest Royal Rumble.
The Greatest Royal Rumble. Oh, boy.
Lord. Lord help us.
Lord help us. Next
Thing
match on
about
the
the
card.
Bludgeons, their presentation is so cheap. Like, those hammers are so obviously made of foam. Oh my god.
Like I said, they're LARPers, dude. That's their gimmick. That's their fucking gimmick.
Fair enough.
Next match
You've
on the
spent
card.
way too much time talking about this match. Let's go.
Okay, next match on the card. Was it the Raw Women's Championship?
It was Undertaker and John Cena.
Oh yeah. Okay, sorry. Again, like I said, the card that I have on the WWE website's like not the order. Should be on the Wikipedia page. Okay, so John Cena, he comes out as the referee had told him earlier in the night, "Hey, Taker's here, buddy. Like, get the fuck ready." And so Cena gets out in the ring. He's ready to go. Taker's not coming out though. You're like, okay, what the fuck is happening? And Cena, he's about to give up. He's about to leave the ring. And then lights go out. And you're like, oh boy, it's fucking happening, isn't it? Oh shit. And then, it's fucking Elias.
Oh, yes.
Let's talk about Elias real quick. I fucking love Elias. His gimmick is amazing.
Oh.
Sorry.
Misty, except he's good.
Sorry, that was a guest appearance for my mom. But I fucking love Elias so goddamn much.
He rules.
Again, his gimmick is the guy who brings out an acoustic guitar at the party to play Wonderwall. Like, that's an amazing, like, heat magnet gimmick. Like, it's I don't know why no one's well, people have kind of done it before, but not. It hasn't been modernized before. Because I mean, obviously, it's like Jeff Jarrett, Huggy Talk Man, but this is again a modernization of that type of gimmick, and it fucking works incredible. And I want to hear his goddamn album.
In general, it's just massive heat magnets. Got heat for a while with his whole singing shtick. Elias still gets great reactions. If you put them together, they would burn arenas down.
Wait, who'd you mention? There's a little bit of lag. Who'd you mention with Elias?
English, back when he was doing his not-Rusev stuff.
Yeah. Oh boy, yeah, they would again get completely booed out of the arena. It'd be a fucking amazing thing to see.
Yeah.
But so Elias comes out and starts basically like making fun of John, like, you thought you were expecting, or basically makes fun of John in the crowd. Like, did you expect anyone else? And of course, then John Cena squashes him, does some offense, hits him with the AA. Elias leaves the ring. John's about to leave the ring once again, like, okay, motherfucker, this, again, he's not coming out. And then, let's go again. Ring, purple lighting, Taker's hat and his jacket from last year's WrestleMania in the middle of the ring once again. And then bad CGI lightning.
Goofy ass lightning.
It's the most carny bullshit in the world, but I got to fucking love it so much. Which we'll talk about carny bullshit a bit later on.
Oh boy,
we have some real carny bullshit to talk about. Lightning hits the ring. Ooh. His jacket and hat disappear from the ring, and then gong, dun dun, and then Taker walks slow as fuck to the ring, like, oh my god, he's actually here. Of course, John is like, oh my god. It's like it's there's a better joke for this. I'm trying to think of it. Basically, John's like, fight me IRL, bitch. Fight me. And of course, Taker's like, okay, cool, what's your address? And Cena's like, NOLA, WrestleMania 34 Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Meet me there, I guess. But again, Taker makes his longest entrance to the ring, and this was a very fun match. Short and sweet and to the point. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Fucking great spot where John Cena is doing the 5-knuckle shuffle. Of course, bounces off the ropes. Taker does his little sit-up thing. Cena gets fucking spooked. Like, is so goddamn spooked. Great. But I thought this was a very fun match that definitely worked very well with Taker's current sort of limitations, because he's over 50 and he has bad. His body is bad because he's been wrestling for like 4 decades. But Gavin, your thoughts?
I never want to see the Undertaker wrestle ever again. That's, I don't know. I think this segment went on way too long, and just the payoff was not worth it, which I know is not the right take, because like I understand the hype behind Undertaker and John Cena is like for most people is insane, but I have pretty much never given a shit about the Undertaker, and I like John Cena now that he's like goofy and fun, and he's just like hanging out drinking beer in the crowd or whatever. But
midlife crisis John Cena is a very good
midlife crisis John Cena. The Porg is like a great little thing, and but
his avant-garde Instagram posts.
Oh,
those are always...
I love his Instagram, but I don't know. I like an under 5-minute match for the Undertaker is fine. I thought this was booked about as well as it could be, but I would have just preferred if it was not booked, because I don't want to ever see the Undertaker again. Unless it's for like a Hall of Fame induction. But yeah, so Zach.
The party is a huge Undertaker mark, so it was worth it just to see him go crazy once he started coming out. Agree with Gavin, like and he did last year, which wouldn't be hard since he got his hip replaced, but it to happen. The storyline going into it was kind of bullshit, and I think they might actually be doing what they wanted to do a few years ago with Cena about him having a bad year, but
actually making him have a bad year.
Payoff.
But
the conspiracy theory that John Cena was drunk, though, and that's why he lost so quickly.
That's what I agree with. It's got to be the only reason.
Yeah.
He was definitely.
That's why he fell.
Yeah, when Taker hit the big boot, he fell in advance of the big boot. All right, here's my William Regal impression. Again, John Cena, he knew the boot was coming, and again, tried to dodge the boot, but again, it came at him too fast that he could not properly dodge it. So again, sort of.
You know what the best thing about this match was?
Yes. What was the best match?
The best thing about this match was that Twitter post that said, "Y'all paying for this?" And it was a close-up of the Undertaker's jawing in Cena's face, and then Cena looking like he had a boner. And that was the highlight of this match, and really all I have to say about it.
No, not much more to say. I do wonder what this means for Taker. If there is going to be, I feel like there's going to be a rematch at SummerSlam, and it's going to be like an actual match this time around. I feel like that's what's going to happen.
Let's keep it moving.
Next match on
what
the
if
card.
Cena costs Taker casket match? Rusev wins.
I would be into that. I would be actually really into that, as it would give Rusev a nice rub. And
match. This is one of the big ones. Daniel Bryan, Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn.
Background: Daniel Bryan has been retired from in-ring competition for over 2 years now. Again, the dude had a very bad brain. His brain was real fucking messed up, and I still don't like him wrestling. There's still a part of me that really does not like him wrestling, because the dude had a really bad brain, like real bad. Like, was having seizures and shit, and again, neck. I think there's probably more, like there's also neck issues and whatnot. But basically,
there was.
Again, had to retire from in-ring competition because his brain had too many smoothies. And he's been the SmackDown general manager for pretty much since the reboot of SmackDown Live, and again, very recently, about 3-4 weeks ago, announced that he had been cleared for in-ring competition, and then this match was set up. And basically the stipulation was Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they got fired because they attacked Shane McMahon and put him in the hospital, kayfabe, and then Shane McMahon actually went to the hospital in real life because he was in a foreign country. And what happened to him exactly? Like, he got some kind of infection.
Diverticulitis.
Thank you, Zach. He got that. And he's still wrestling a fucking Wrestlemania match. He's a fucking... Shane is such a madman, all right? Like, you could make a case that Shane is crazier than his father. You can make like a real case for it.
Shane is probably the best example of wrestling being something that people love, wrestlers doing something that they love that will eventually kill them, because fuck, he should not have been wrestling. Did you see him after the Coast to Coast? He looked awful.
He looked really fucking withered, but we will discuss. So again, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were fired by Daniel Bryan for attacking Shane McMahon. And the stipulation of this match was, hey, if Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn win, they get their jobs back. If they lose, they're fired. Simple to the point. And this match was okay, but for the for the return of Daniel Bryan as an in-ring competitor, I thought it was fucking really goddamn emotional. I was so happy to see him back in a ring, and so happy that he's not lost a step. Like, he was fucking. It seemed like, again, he never retired. Like, he seemed like he'd been, like, again, it was just like, oh, just back to where he was. It was fucking great. Although dumb bullshit in the beginning, though, with like them doing the power bomb on the apron and him being out of the match for like 10 minutes. I thought that was stupid.
Goddamn stretcher.
So dumb.
No more stretcher spots. Like, they did one on Raw like a couple weeks ago with Roman. No one buys it. It's so dumb. Like, we know what happens.
Again,
like, off the top.
It's so weird that Roman didn't get arrested for beating up a bunch of like fucking like court marshals.
U.S. Marshals, yeah.
Yeah, he should be in jail. Like,
real champ who doesn't give a fuck about the feds. So good man.
That is true. Roman Reigns.
Antifa.
Is the Antifa leader we need. All right, he was in the Shield.
Yes. He is a literal Antifa super soldier.
Jesus Christ. For this match, there's not really a whole lot. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, fucking great heels, again, attacking both guys, like, again, faking them out with the entrance and then attacking them from behind. Fucking great heel work. Sammy making fun of Shane's punches. Fucking great.
So good.
And, of course, Daniel Bryan coming in for the hot tag and just fucking, he's so good. I love Daniel. I just love him so much. And I'm so glad he's back. And I'm glad that, I'm both very happy and very, like, worried that he's basically going right back into full-time competition. Like, okay, house shows, the whole thing. Like, Daniel, like, you should really just sign a part-timer deal, dude. Like, just go, it should be a special event when you wrestle, you know? Like,
yeah,
come on, man. But at the same time, it's like, hey, the thing, it's this weird thing with Daniel Bryan of he's doing what he loves and he's an adult and he has that choice to do that. But at the same time, it's like, dude, you're a father, man. But I'm also very worried. But it's this weird thing of, like, kind of similar to Kobashi in Japan. He's probably gonna die in a wrestling ring, but he's dying doing what he loves. So it's just this weird sort of, like, double-edged sword of, like, that's bad, but, like, he loves his business, man. But this was a fine match, a fine storyline match, very triumphant. Daniel Bryan winning, and but man, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, how embarrassing that this guy who didn't fucking wrestle for 2 years kicked both of your guys' asses. Fucking embarrassing.
Yeah. I have two notes about this match, because I agree with you that it was great. Daniel Bryan's return is very emotional. His entrance where they were showing all the people doing the yes was weird with the whole drone thing, but it was very cool. I never want to see Daniel Bryan do the drop kick off the top rope again where he just lands flat on his back. I would very much like it if he would come up with something new in his arsenal aside from that.
No more diving headbutts. No more diving headbutts.
Yeah, well, he didn't do one, so I think that's done. I think the suicide dive is also done. He did a baseball slide in this match.
Okay, thank God.
So,
because, whenever he was planning on coming back in 2016, he had already been, like, developing, like, a safer in-ring style, you know? So it just seems like, he's actually going to put that plan to fruition. But still, it's really, like, weird to see him taking bumps. Like, I was watching clips of the AJ match on SmackDown. I was just, like, him selling stuff. Like, oh, stop it, Daniel. Yeah. Like, oh, dude, this is... don't feel right. Mm-hmm. But, fun, enjoyable match. Interested to see what happens with Kevin and Sammy after the whole thing, after their storyline on Raw, and the first
going to TNA.
they're going. It's Impact Wrestling now, Gavin. Actually.
Oh, you're right. Did you see Petey Williams' tweet?
I think I did.
We do.
I probably.
It was like, joke's on you. They mentioned TNA, so we win, and it's like, ugh. I get that you're a company guy, Petey, and you want to try and find positive in it, but he's
joking. Petey's good, all right. This it's little Petey pump, all right.
Little Petey pump.
Little Petey. I was actually watching TNA around that time, like when Little Petey Pump was a thing. I was I was probably a Scott Steiner mark back in the day. Fucking
Oh God, who wasn't?
it. Exactly. Who isn't a Scott Steiner mark at this point?
Did you see his match with Teddy Hart?
Scott Steiner or Little Petey Pump?
Scott Steiner and Teddy Hart had a tag team match against Ohio is for Killers.
No, but I want to watch this because again, Teddy Hart is a fucking crazy madman.
It's so crazy. Scott Steiner wears an NWO Wolfpack shirt, and he was never in the NWO Wolfpack.
Okay. Also, in relation to Teddy Hart, if you've not seen the Best Friends clip of Teddy Hart, please watch it.
Watch that.
More Greg and Dustin content. Please watch the Best Friends clip where Trent/Greg spills his beer on his pants because he was so nervous because Teddy Hart is crazy.
Yeah.
But again, fine match. Next on the card.
Sami Zayn's my ska dad.
Oh God. Shocked that again. Let's see how far. Again, it only took an hour and a half, but we finally got one ska mention on this first.
I get one.
Slam Me Harder pod, and we are an hour and 25 minutes in, so I don't want to rush through this because we got some big matches to talk about. Up next,
the next one.
Let's go.
Was this the Raw Women's Championship match?
Yes.
Raw Women's Championship match. Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, probably the match that I think most people are probably the least excited about on the card, just because the storyline has been very, like they could handle it worse. They could do worse.
Yeah, they could, but
they could have done worse.
Really hard.
It's still pretty bad, but they could have done worse.
Yeah.
But the story basically is Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax, they've been sort of friends for a while, but the friendship had been kind of fading as Nia had been falling in love with fucking Enzo, which is like, oh my God. Jesus Christ. Again, thank God she's out of that, honestly, even though I thought it was kind of funny and cute at the time, but now it's like, ugh. But basically, Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss, Alexa gets caught backstage talking shit on Nia, like, bullying her, calling her fat and like, oh, she's dumb and all this shit, just like really mean stuff. Which the reason why the background isn't just bad because Alexa Bliss is a bully, like, oh, her character's like a bully. It's like, that's not really the bad thing. The bad thing is that Alexa Bliss actually had a fucking eating disorder, and it feels really weird to see her character like saying these things and being this way. And also, like, why is Mickie James with her all of a sudden? That's also weird.
I don't know.
But this match was a nice little feel-good match. It was, hey, I think Nia Jax should have just squashed Alexa Bliss, like, super quickly, but I get why they kind of want some more offense.
10 minutes was too much time.
Too much time. They could have given more time to AJ and Nakamura, or even Brock and Roman. But for what it was, not a bad match. I thought it was fine, nice little feel good moment, some cool spots. The spot where Nia fucking screams in Alexa's face and she just fucking tries running away outside the ring and she's like, it's great. Alexa Bliss I think Alexa Bliss is she's really fucking good. She wasn't really a part of like the whole NXT 4 Horsewomen, but she really found herself on the main roster and has been a really good heel. Like the fake out promo at the end of the Elimination Chamber. I think she's again the fake out during the Elimination Chamber was fucking great. I thought it was like, she got me. I thought it was great. Shut up, Zach. But again, this is again okay. Too much time spent on it though. Nia should just squashed her. But I get they wanted to protect Alexa a bit.
Yeah.
As they do want her to look like she's still a cowardly heel, but they do want her to be like, okay, she still can handle herself, But
my problem with Alexa is that she's pushed way too strong relative to what her character is. Like, she should not be beating people with a punch or a DDT.
Yeah, I kind of.
So maybe a personal taste thing, but I don't like most of her promo material at all. It's just basic, one-dimensional, bitchy heel stuff, and everyone acts like she's the second coming of Christ because she can work the crowd.
I mean, the thing with nowadays in WWE, it's becoming harder and harder to find good heels, like someone that could actually get booed, because you have guys who are heels now. As much as I love Kevin Owens is he's a bad heel sometimes. That he tries to try to get the crowd to cheer for him occasionally because he's got ego problems. He's got ego problems. I'm sorry, Kevin, I love you, buddy, but hey, learn to embrace being booed and just try to get booed. So I think Alexa's good for that, and that like, hey, she's good at getting booed, and that's exactly what she needs to do. I'm not saying like she's great, but again, compared to some of the other women, it's like, hey, she could actually get booed. So I kind of appreciate that, just because it seems it's becoming rarer and rarer in WWE nowadays. So we're spending too much time on this match. It was again solid.
Yeah.
Solid.
As for the match itself, it was probably the result I was happiest with. I've come around on Nia recently. I'm glad that she's gotten over. She's still a bit iffy in the ring, but I'm glad she got her moment.
Yeah, I think she's definitely a little unsafe in the ring sometimes. Like still really green occasionally, and has definitely fucked up some spots and could have really hurt people. But again, hopefully now that she kind of has the pressure of the championship, hopefully she kind of gets better from here. So we'll see how things go. Next up on the card, the match that I think most everyone was, at least of us three, would we say we were the most hyped for this match? AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, the dream match for the WWE Championship. And again, the story going in, Shinsuke Nakamura won the Royal Rumble, and then right after was like, hey, I want AJ Styles at WrestleMania. And it was like, yeah, awesome. Again, they had a great match, Wrestle Kingdom 10, back in New Japan. People want to see them wrestle in a WWE ring. And after Fastlane, where AJ Styles survived the six-pack challenge, it was official. AJ Styles, Nakamura, WrestleMania. And boy, oh boy, this match. Really disappointing match. Really disappointing. Mm-hmm. These guys, again. But the ending did redeem it, as it does make sense. Like, why this was so disappointing. It's like, okay. I don't like that WrestleMania is, like... For me, WrestleMania, it's sort of weird to choose WrestleMania to be the place where you start a storyline. You know? Like, that's kind of odd. But with where they're going with it right now, I'm very interested and I'm very invested. But the match as is, just, again, not discussing the ending, kind of disappointing. Both these guys, again, are capable of really great shit, and they didn't really bring their A game. I think it didn't feel like a WrestleMania match. It felt like a match that'd be on like SmackDown, you know?
Yeah.
Reference, but it got Shawn Michaels Mr. Perfect syndrome from like back in WrestleMania, from back SummerSlam back in the day. They were hyping it. Oh, it's going to be this classic match, and it just wasn't.
Yeah,
it wasn't a good match. I thought it was fine for what it was, but it just never really got out of the first gear for reasons that became clear at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
There was no way it could have ever lived up to expectations. So in a way, I'm kind of happy that it went that way. Yeah. I don't know. That's kind of weird.
It's Gavin. I'll let you just talk about this match a little bit. Your thoughts.
I think I have less to say about this match than the 10-minute Nia Jax Alexa Bliss match. I mean, it was. I kept like. The first time I watched it, my girlfriend was like, "You're not watching it? You're looking at your phone?" And I was like, I'm going to wait till it picks up a little bit because I just wasn't feeling it, you know? But then it just sort of never gained much steam until like the last minute, which was really cool. And then, you know, it's, I don't know. It was disappointing, but even, you know, with the unreal expectations that this match had, I don't know. It couldn't have lived up to that, but it definitely could have been a way better match than what it was, I think.
Mm-hmm. But so basically the match again, like Zach said, never really got out of the first gear. It started really slow and didn't really build up. There wasn't like any crazy spots, you know.
No.
Like it was just it was a SmackDown match, you know. It just seems like these guys were kind of holding it in, which let's get to the ending. So again, Shinsuke. AJ hits him with a Styles Clash. One Styles Clash, by the way. Just one Styles Clash. pins him 1, 2, 3 into the match. That was it. It was like, that's it. Like, as we'll discuss later in the night, like one finisher and that's fucking it. Like you have Seth Rollins kick out of a skull crushing finale, earlier in the night, and you can't even have Shinsuke Nakamura kick out of a fucking Styles Clash. Like how many Styles Clashes has Cena kicked out of? Like, come on now.
Yeah.
But the ending was good. Again, it was sort of trying to do a parallel with Charlotte and Asuka, but there was a twist. Shinsuke again grabs the championship, bows down, gets on his knees, hands the championship over to AJ. AJ is celebrating. I think they hugged before then. AJ celebrating, and then Shinsuke, low blow, again, right in the fucking balls. And AJ's
absolutely hellacious.
Really, stiff as hell. And AJ's like, oh! And then Shinsuke is like, again, Shinsuke Nakamura, he has turned heel, and it's fucking great. I'm so excited about this run. As I think Shinsuke, he hasn't really, like, since coming to the main roster especially, has not really had like that motivation, like it's just been like, okay, he's just kind of coasted on the fact that he's a great wrestler and sort of his reputation in Japan. But again, so now that I actually have him have an actual character and to try, I'm excited.
Yeah. Like, it's fitting that a feud that began as a top 10 anime battle continues into the next part of its life with a top 10 anime betrayal.
Yes. I think, again, perfect way to sum things up. And his promo on SmackDown was fucking great.
Oh god.
Renee's trying to press on him like, hey, what the fuck, dude? And Shinsuke's like, I don't know.
Maybe I was too emotional. I'm very, very sorry for what I did to AJ Styles. Wink. And then the capper.
Renee's like, okay, you're being facetious, all right? Like, but really though, like, why did you do it? And then Shinsuke's like, sorry, no speak English, and just fucking walks off. Fucking great.
It's gonna be so good.
Hopefully,
the face I made when I heard that for the first time. That's probably the face I make when I listen to a particularly good Pusha T verse. It was just, I can't believe they actually did that. Yes.
Hopefully it doesn't turn into generic foreign heel. I'm really hoping to be actually like, he's not like a one-dimensional foreign heel, and he actually has like an actual heel character. So if they don't fuck it up, please, for the love of God, WWE, do not fuck this up. Like, you've got money on your hands. Like, let's not do this. But yes, definitely with the ending, excited to see where things go from here. As a heel Shinsuke is fucking great. And I love seeing AJ Styles get punched in the balls. AJ Styles is an incredible wrestler, probably the best in the world, as far as I know. But at the same time, he's a Trump supporter, potentially a flat earther, and probably just like not like a good human being. But again, you just forgive him because he's fucking AJ Styles and he's just so goddamn good at wrestling. You're like, okay, I can forgive this. Like, I can forgive it. But yeah.
Titles.
Raw Tag Team Championship. Braun Strowman in a mystery partner versus The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro. Of course, match. Well, we didn't know the match was starting. There's like just sort of New Orleans type music comes out, and you see a fucking a raft of people in like Joker heads and whatnot. Mardi Gras
float. Yeah.
Mardi Gras float. And you have Sheamus and Cesaro just enjoying the party in there, and I was fucking laughing my ass off.
Throwing beads. Yeah, it was great.
It was fucking great. And of course they do the entrance, the shine the bright ass light, goddamn moonlights onto Sheamus's pale body and Cesaro's kind of pale body. Fucking great. Sheamus and Cesaro are a great tag team. I love them together. I think at this point Cesaro, I love him, but he's not going to get the singles run we all want from him. It's just not going to happen at this point. And Sheamus is getting old. I think he's 40 at this point, and he's probably
He's got like fucking spinal stenosis or something. He might have to retire at some point.
Yeah, he's probably
like sometime soon.
Yeah, this is probably gonna be his last year in the company. Like this year, maybe 2019, but he's probably on the out soon. But and of course Braun Strowman comes out, pushes the Mardi Gras again, scares off all the Mardi Gras mascots. They all run out scared, like of course they're wearing ridiculous masks, so it's fucking great. And then he pushes the float off.
It's like Shrek.
He pushes the float off the stage. It breaks. It's fucking great. Braun Strowman, his gimmick is basically just I tip over and I destroy things, and it's the greatest thing in the fucking world. It's great. I love Braun Strowman so goddamn much. I've become a Braun Strowman mark very quickly. I love him. And so of course he comes out and he does not have a partner. That's been the storyline these past couple weeks, that hey, he wants the tag titles, but he doesn't want a partner. Of course, he tried bringing out was it Braun Strowman a couple weeks ago? And it's just him in a lab coat and glasses. It's just him in a lab coat and glasses, and it's great.
Corey Graves fucking made that. That's Braun Strowman. Holy shit!
Corey Graves is amazing. I'm such a Corey Graves mark. I love him so much. He's great. But so Braun doesn't have a partner, and Braun's like, hey, well, I didn't really want a partner, but hey, I want my partner to be one of you, and point to the crowd. And it's like, oh my god, he's gonna pick someone out of the crowd. And you think, okay, this is a great moment, to fucking, have like a returning superstar, or have like a legend you just hide him in the crowd. Maybe someone from New Japan, who fucking knows? Maybe he picks Tanahashi out of the crowd.
Tanahashi was there. He took on Tanahashi.
But no, Braun Strowman picks a 10-year-old boy named Nicholas, who people thought was a girl at first because of his long hair. So he picks a 10-year-old child out of the crowd and takes him to the ring and says, hey, you just stand here, I'll take care of everything. And what do you know? Braun Strowman, of course, tags in Nicholas at some point, after getting some good offense in, but of course, Bar's kind of getting him down a little bit. Tags in Nicholas, he enters the ring. Cesaro is about to fucking stiff a kid. You look at
He's about to uppercut him into the ceiling.
He's about to uppercut this fucking 10-year-old kid, and I'm like, do it. Do it, Cesaro, you fucking pussy, do it. But of course, Nicholas tags Braun back in. Braun hits Cesaro with the running power slam, wins the tag titles for himself and 10-year-old child Nicholas. Of course,
Referee John
Cone's child. So now the youngest champion in WWE history is a 10-year-old boy. And you know what?
Fucked!
I love this Cardi bullshit. This was probably my favorite moment of the entire night. I love this.
This is the best thing that happened at WrestleMania.
It was
so weird. I loved it.
I was dying laughing on my floor. Like I had to just lay down on my floor and just take this all in. Like, oh my god, this is fucking real. I love this. It was great. It's a nice little feel good moment too. Like, hey, like I think people forget, like, wrestling, it's for kids. Like, a lot of kids watch it. Stuff like this is like really inspiring for these kids. Like, oh hey, like maybe I could be Braun Strowman's tag team partner. I think that stuff is really cute. It's really nice. Again, next night on Raw with Nicholas, saying, they're gonna get these hands once. So, sorry, let me backtrack a little bit. Braun Strowman goes up to Kurt Angle, says, hey, we have to relinquish the tag team titles as Nicholas, he's in the 4th grade. He's got classes still. Of course.
Where's Nicholas? He's been here the whole time, Kurt.
Of course, Nicholas is like, when I'm off summer vacation, they're gonna get these hands. And I really
so good.
Nicholas. He got such a huge pop too. Fucking crowd loved him.
People were chanting for him during the main event.
Oh boy, that's up next.
But
again,
I just want to say real quick, John Cone is probably the best dad of all time for getting his son a fucking WWE championship reign.
Great. Nicholas again. Asuka again 0-1 WrestleMania. Undertaker 24-2 WrestleMania. Nicholas 1-0.
And he retired. He retired on top.
Well, no. He said he'd be back after summer vacation. All right, this is only a hiatus. All right.
Yeah,
he's gonna be back. He's gonna be back.
You're right.
May. He's gonna be back in like May or June, and it's gonna be fucking great. He's gonna get such a huge pop.
I hope he trains to become a wrestler. Because if so, he has the greatest wrestler backstory ever already. And he could like retire the shit out of Braun.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Next on the card, the main event for the Universal Championship.
Oh, boy.
Brock Lesnar, the champion, who's been champion for over a year now, versus Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns came second place at the Royal Rumble, won at the Elimination Chamber in a qualifying match. Winner faces Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. And the build-up to this match has been Roman Reigns once again playing the underdog and saying, Braun Strowman, Brock Lesnar, he's a part-timer, all right? I'm here every day. And Brock only shows up when it's convenient for him. And it's like, trying to be the anti-authority. It's like, oh my God, like, no, we don't. Oh my God, the fans were not that stupid. God, Jesus Christ, Vince, you fucking idiot.
Because it did work for a bit. It did work for a bit.
It did work. I will admit, it did work for a bit.
Better.
Again, it's a better choice. It's a better angle to go at than they could have. But yes. And actually, I was actually kind of excited about this match. Thought the storyline was interesting. Again, Roman and Brock put on a great match at WrestleMania 31. So I thought, hey, they'll probably do it again. Like, they don't have the get out jail free card, with Seth Rollins being Money in the Bank, but still, it's like, hey, they're gonna put on a good match. Finally, the Roman Reigns coronation ceremony might finally fucking end. Like, this might be the finale. But nope. What we got was probably the weirdest Mania main event since weirdest main event probably since maybe, probably Cheap
The
Shot.
last one?
Yeah, probably. Well, I think 32 was a weird. In terms of the match structure and the match layout and the structure and the story. In terms of like the layout of the match, like how everything kind of went down, probably the weirdest since maybe, I'm trying to think. Most of like the last Mania main event that was just like very like that was laid out very weirdly. Not because like here's the thing with Taker and Roman Reigns. Taker was obviously just very limited in the ring. Like Roman's trying, he really is. It's just hard to get out of it. But the thing with Brock and Roman, they're both very like able competitors. They both can put on great matches, but it just didn't happen this year because it seemed like, again, too many cooks were involved in this match and trying to lay it out, and it just was a very confusing mess. As Roman Reigns took 6 F5s and kicked out of 5 of them. The fuck? Mm-hmm. Again, this match, it sucked. I'm just right out the gate. It was a fucking terrible match. But probably the worst main event that I can recall in many, many years. Probably the worst main event since maybe like the 90s or maybe like early 2000s.
Bam, and LT.
Oh, God. I'm not going to discuss.
Yeah.
But this match was weird, and the ending was just like, wait, what? Like, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Gavin, your thoughts?
What a goddamn come down from the Braun Strowman thing. It just, something felt off about the whole thing, and it wasn't like the performers like are like out of sync sort of off. It just felt like something was legitimately wrong, and I'm sure apparently, I don't know, I'm not going to go into like the backstage rumors and shit, but like apparently Brock was not happy and like fucking threw the title at the wall or whatever, but I don't know. They should have put the belt on Roman. Like, I can't, like, if you told me years ago I'd be saying that, like, it would sound crazy, but I'm fucking, like, everything I said about The Undertaker earlier is like 10 times more true with Brock. I am so sick of just seeing him. Like, it's the same match over and over again. I'm sick of him, like, even though it's like the second time he's really done it, I'm sick of him making guys bleed everywhere, like with his punches or whatever. It's just put the belt on Braun. Like, he's gonna be Brock, but safer and more interesting, you know?
And
so
people fucking love him, and he's over with the crowd. And at this point, people, again, the crowd was not into this match. Again, their energy was
No.
complete. Here's the thing. This WrestleMania was 7 hours long. Kickoff was 2 hours. The actual Mania itself was 5 hours long. Crowd was fucking tired at this point, all right? They were fucking tired. So you have them chanting, "This is awful," chanting for Nicholas, throwing beach balls around. What else were they
CM
chanting?
Punk.
CM
They
Punk.
were chanting for Johnny, weren't they?
Oh, yeah, they chanted Johnny Wrestling at some point. Crowd was just, again, they did not give a shit about this match, and rightfully so, because it was a terrible match, booked really poorly. Because here's the thing, it made sense at WrestleMania 31 for Roman to get the shit kicked out of him the entire time, because again, Roman was the rookie, Brock was the veteran. Like, hey, like, it made sense that that Roman would get his fucking ass kicked. But 3 years later, again, Roman has very much improved as an in-ring performer, has proved himself since then, and still most of the match is him getting his fucking ass kicked with with really bad German suplexes. Not like really bad, like barely getting any lift on the suplexes, and just this was a very poorly booked match, because
It was
was nothing connected. Because, and also Roman getting busted open, which here's the thing, I disagree slightly with that, and here's the thing, it could have been a really cool moment of because that look, like, it was fucking awesome, but he got pinned like a minute later. Like,
yeah.
They could have gone, again, it was very obvious they were trying to emulate the Steve Austin Crimson Mask thing in his match with Brett at WrestleMania 97. But, obviously, Roman Reigns is no Steve Austin, and Brock Lesnar is no Bret Hart. And obviously. But again, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Again, this cool moment of like, oh shit, he got like legitimately fucking busted open. Like, it looked it was gnarly. But again, he gets pinned like horrible. A minute. He gets pinned like a minute fucking later. Like, what was the fucking point of doing that? And also, at the end of the match. So of course, Brock hits his 6 F5, finally pins Roman, wins the match. No pyro celebration, none of that. Just walks out with a title. That's it. And then they have a highlight reel of the whole Mania, and then the ending of Mania is Roman Reigns walking to the back, hurt.
Yep.
With this music fucking playing, like Vince is, oh my god, Vince is such a fucking weirdo sometimes. All right, like even in the match where he loses, you're still ending with his fucking music. Like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, that's the last image that everyone is going to see from Mania this year is Roman Reigns walking to the back with his music fucking playing. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Remember the Brock versus Dean match at WrestleMania 32?
I did not watch it, but I heard it was really bad.
This is like essentially the same quality of a match, but at least that wasn't the main event.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm sick of Brock Lesnar. I don't mind the Roman music thing because I think that might have been them trying to compensate for the lack of a Brock celebration. But, like, I don't know. It wasn't like watching the loser walk to the back covered in blood is not the same as watching the champion hold the belt over his head with pyro going on.
No.
So I don't know. I don't know. It was the wrong call to have this main event.
Yeah. Zach, your thoughts?
There were significant problems with this match, not the least of which being apparently it was a very, very last-minute decision to go with Brock instead of Roman. Structured so poorly. Like, wrestler he is. Why do you just have him do the same Superman punch and spear thing over and over again? Like, you're wasting his talents. Like, about how much I hate Brock Lesnar at this point, but he is straight up crossed the line into being a dangerous worker. Like, some of those suplexes were just unforgivable in how sloppy they were. He fucking face-planted Roman on the announce table at one point. Watch. And then getting busted open hard way was even worse because said that's not a first-time incident. He did that with Orton at SummerSlam a few years ago. And the finish just left an awful taste in my mouth. And why until the next day? It just so happens that Brock Lesnar has re-signed Roman in a steel cage match for the championship in Saudi Arabia.
The greatest Royal
became
Rumble.
Clear.
Yeah.
Snapped into place. In a place where there is no chance in hell he will get booed.
Mm-hmm. It's so fucking... Literally, again, they're using the WrestleMania main event to hype up this fucking match in Saudi Arabia that's going to be on at like fucking like noon in the US. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, the thing with Roman, this is Roman's 4th Mania main event in a goddamn row. I just do... Okay, I want to ask everybody. This is for the fans. This is for you guys too, for you, Zach and Gavin. Roman Reigns. Does anyone who does not watch wrestling know who he is and give a fuck about him? Hulk Hogan, obviously. Again, when you think of pro wrestling, you think of Hulk Hogan, biggest fucking name the business ever had. They might try to, whitewash it now and say, oh, it was Steve Austin, but no, it's fucking Hulk Hogan. I don't give a shit what you think. It's Hulk Hogan. Obviously, again, Hogan. But Austin's still big outside of wrestling, of course. Like, of course, Hogan transcends wrestling. Rock transcends wrestling. Steve Austin transcends wrestling. John Cena transcends wrestling. Roman Reigns, they're winning, again, 4 WrestleMania main events in a row, and he's not a guy that transcends wrestling, Like, here's like, you could make the case that Triple H transcends wrestling. You could make the case that Brock transcends wrestling to an extent. A couple of these guys do. They're, again, these are guys that, again, you go, oh yeah, they've, like, the way that these storylines go and the way that they've built up a rapport with the crowd, they deserve to be in the main event at WrestleMania. And Roman, I think Roman has, here's the thing, I think he's earned it in terms of like what he's done for the company and how much of a company man he is and how he's taken the role as the backstage, as the locker room leader. But in terms of his character work and in terms of the storylines he's been put in, he has not fucking deserved to be in the main event whatsoever. Again, it's not even just one, it's 4 main events in a fucking row. Like, what the fuck? Again, is there any way to is there any numbers that can justify like, hey, this guy is money, that's why he's in the main event? As far as I know, he's not fucking money, Like, it's why I'm glad next year the rumors are that's going to be Charlotte and Ronda Rousey for the main event next year. I think it's gonna be a good match. I think it's fucking awesome. The women are gonna main event Mania. That's gonna be fucking awesome and a big step. And I think Charlotte has potential to transcend wrestling. But again, Roman here's the thing with Roman. This has nothing to do with him as a person. He seems like a nice enough guy. He's a good fucking wrestler. But I will say he's not a wrestler that can carry a match, as we saw with the Undertaker match. He's not a guy that can carry a match, He's still, he can be in great matches, but he still needs a guy to carry him a little bit, He can't pick up the weight to be the company guy, in terms of his in-ring ability, if that makes any sense. But
yeah,
I'm kind of ranting and raving. I think Roman is just, again, I feel bad for him. He's just in a really fucking terrible spot. He deserves way better than this. Than what the fuck they're trying to do. And again, I'm still like, oh my god, they're actually just going to put the fucking title on him at the Greatest Royal Rumble because he won't get fucking booed. Because WWE just doesn't, they just don't understand this. They just don't understand. Just turn him heel. Turn him heel. Again, they could have just, again, make him a tweener for God's sake. Don't even make him a fucking babyface. Just make him a tweener, Like, you could have a main event tweener guy, Like, you can do that. Like, look at New Japan. Fucking Okada's basically a tweener, He might be leaning towards more babyface at this point, but the dude was a fucking tweener. You can do it, Like, the whole promo after the Taker match, I'm not a good guy, I'm not a bad guy, I'm the guy. Like, perfect. Lean into that a bit more. Like, he's such a natural douchebag. Lean into that a bit more. But no, we gotta make him an underdog babyface, even though he's a goddamn 6'4", 280-pound Samoan that's related to the goddamn Rock. Like,
yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know anyone who doesn't watch wrestling who would even be aware of the name Roman Reigns. The last thing I'm gonna say is just let Roman steal Naito's gimmick, like have him win the belt and be like, "Oh, you people boo me all the time," and then just have him like throw the belt around, and he'll get over, and you'll have your babyface there.
Exactly. Just give him fucking Naito's gimmick. It's so goddamn simple. Like, Jesus Christ. But I think we've exhausted our thoughts on this match. Overall, you have, Zach? Are we okay? WrestleMania overall, I think WrestleMania overall was a fun show. Some really fun, good matches, but also some big disappointments. But still, there's stuff to look forward to after this Mania.
Yes.
But again, I'm not excited for another Brock and Roman match. But I do hope that's the end. Like, hey, just have this be the last fucking one. And just give, again, I want to see the Universal title back on Raw every week again. Like, that'd be nice, you know? Like, be nice to see the title again and actually have it defended regularly. I'd like that. It'd be cool. It's a fucking world title, for God's sake. Give it to fucking Seth, too. God. But, again, overall fun show. But, again, start off strong. But, again, just could not pull it off by the end. Just really could not. Almost did with the Braun Strowman thing, but again, super weak ending. Just real bad. But it's good, it's bad. And also, of course, there was also TakeOver the night before, and TakeOver was fucking perfect and incredible. And it's like, you can't
do a whole other episode about TakeOver, we probably should. We've been talking about this for like almost 2 hours at this point.
Yeah, we don't have enough time to talk about TakeOver. We'll discuss it on the next. We'll probably discuss it on the next episode and the fallout from it. So
SmackDown real quick.
Yeah, let's talk about Raw and SmackDown real quick. Little recaps.
Yeah.
You guys watched both episodes. I only caught some clips, so I can only really interject with what I saw on Reddit. So, Gavin or Zach.
Yeah.
Which one do you guys want to start off with? Which one do you guys want to start off with Raw?
I think Gavin should take it because I was watching Raw at the same time as I was recording the last Indieheads podcast, so I was kind of on mute. So, okay. Gavin?
I'm just gonna like do it as quickly as possible. Like, Joe's back. I'm just gonna like hit highlights basically because like we don't need to go through everything because we've already acknowledged a lot of the stuff that happened. Like, Roman and Brock, greatest Royal Rumble. Samoa Joe's back. Ronda fucked up Stephanie. Ember Moon got called up. Authors Pain got called up. Fucking No Way Jose got called up.
That's the funniest one to me. Like, it's just so random too.
There's a tag team tournament going on or something like that.
It's not
Eliminator,
a tournament.
Tag team Eliminator.
Because you're right, Eliminator.
Because Vince hates the name tournaments because he's fucking he's a weirdo senile old man.
Yeah, he loves ketchup and steak. Doesn't know what a burrito is. Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. Yeah, they're in there. Jeff Hardy's back. And the Superstar Shakeup's going to happen, and other stuff happened that I don't remember. Sammy and Kevin wanted the job, but Kurt told him to go to TNA. Which was
They
great.
had over 15 years to make that joke, and they did it at probably the best possible time. God bless them.
Oh, Bobby Lashley, he's there. Bobby Lashley, I'll be a son of a
bitch.
Is that from Broken Stuff?
That's from a great video called JR Reacts to Y2J Return or something like that. It's just this guy doing a Jim Ross impression, and it's one of the funniest videos I've ever seen. I will tweet it out.
Okay, I will watch this.
Great.
I will watch this after the podcast.
You pretty much hit all the notes, but you buried the biggest story, and that was Paige announcing her retirement.
Oh yes, yeah. Well,
really
that was
fucking sad. Like she's 20, she's like 25. Nobody deserves to.
Yeah, I was going to bring her up in the SmackDown stuff, but yes, she did retire on Raw. I forgot. I thought she retired on SmackDown. But yes, it was very sad. She retired too young. I don't know. I would have liked to seen her get another sort of opportunity, given all the horrible shit she's gone through lately. But it looks like she will be staying with the company in a good role. for the foreseeable future, but it will not be an in-ring role, unfortunately. Yeah,
I'm also upset that the Authors of Pain abandoned their father, Paul Ellering. But
that was weird.
It makes sense.
Paul's old.
I
don't think he wants to travel so much.
Yeah.
I think his daughter on Twitter was like, no, that's not it. And it's like, okay, what is? I guess maybe they'll explain next week. Like they'll actually have a storyline reason for it. I think hopefully I wish they did better. I think I saw a really good sort of fantasy booking of it. Basically just saying like, hey, Paul being like, hey, I took you to the promised land. That was my job. You guys got it from here. Boom. Hopefully they team up the Authors of Pain with Samoa Joe. Joe be a great mouthpiece.
Yeah.
And again, they be a great tag team together, or a great little faction together, especially to kick Roman's ass every week. Which I'm so excited to see a Super Collider on Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. If that happens,
yeah.
I will bust a fucking nut. That'd be amazing. But
Versus
SmackDown.
Roman Backlash. Get excited.
Oh boy. SmackDown. Zach, what happened on SmackDown?
Okay, so first and foremost, Paige is the new general manager of SmackDown now that Daniel Bryan has returned to in-ring competition. That's really great. I'm glad she still has a prominent role in the company. The Iconic Duo.
Yes.
They're back. They're on the main brand.
Yep. Welcome back.
They pretty much cost Charlotte the Women's Championship because they beat the shit out of her, and then Carmella cashed in and took an absurdly long time for the cash-in to actually start because the referee was being a dumbass. But what else?
Fucking Mike Chioda. Like, I love him, but also Mike Chioda, man. Fucking goddamn it, dude.
Iconic Duo. They were the only big call-up.
Yeah.
Which I was hoping for something else, but okay. Orton won number one contenders match. Goddamn bullshit. We have to do this again.
Literally,
fucking hell.
Jinder and Orton, they will fight again. It's fight forever, Zach. All right, fight forever. Clap, 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 clap. Fight forever.
No.
All right, yeah, yeah. SmackDown seemed like it was
main
of course,
event.
AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan.
Oh God.
And then
They did pretty well for a 15-minute TV match, which was inevitably ruined by Shinsuke Nakamura being a dickhead, and then giving AJ Styles not one, but two more uppercuts to the groin, which was... And yeah, that about covers SmackDown.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Except for the extremely good Usos New Day match, which was extremely good.
Not a bad match at this point.
Yeah, that's true. Are they calling the Iconic Duo the Iconics, or was that just like a fuck up?
I think it's just a copyright thing. I think it's probably a copyright thing that they have to call them the Iconics, but I think obviously we're gonna call them the Iconic Duo. I think just one of the things that just like it's just so they don't get sued.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah,
they're definitely girlfriends. Though they're definitely girlfriends.
Oh, they're total. Again, it's the return of the
Definitely.
lesbian. It's the return of the lesbians 10 years later.
Mm-hmm.
The
lesbians.
If you guys remember, Eric Bischoff in like 2004, 2003, introduced
HLA.
the lesbians. Two women who were apparently lesbians, but turns out, oh no, they weren't actually lesbians after like a really awkward makeout that lasted way too goddamn long. Ruthless Aggression in WWE is such a weird fucking like warp zone, guys. Like, it's so weird, and just it goes to show that John Laurinaitis is so fucking bad. He's so bad. That dude.
Episode 2 of Slam Me Harder, Daddy. The Snitsky years coming soon.
Oh, honestly, we should probably. I also want to discuss that storyline because I wasn't watching at the time, but from like highlights and stuff like that, like I very much remember that the whole Kane, Lita, Matt Hardy, Edge storyline is so fucking bizarre and so like this would not happen nowadays. Like it's very much like of its era, but that is another episode. As we're coming up on over 2 hours of this podcast. Again, hopefully you guys enjoyed this monstrosity. We'll be back sometime soon, probably after the not this NXT that's on tonight, but the one afterwards, probably to discuss NXT Takeover New Orleans. I get to discuss how
Why
much.
not talk about this weekend?
Maybe this weekend, yes. Actually, we'll probably discuss it this weekend because we have time. Come on, we've got time.
Yeah.
I get to talk about how much I fucking love Kyle O'Reilly. I fucking love him so much. But again, we will discuss. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and again, keep it tuned in for more episodes of Slam Me Harder Daddy in the future. Bye all.